Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Welcome in a scalding hot Monday, but that's just part of the Sunshine State, part of the beautiful thing about living in the state of Florida. Welcome in. It is a little steamy outside, but it's nice, beautiful air-conditioned space right now in the 1010 XL studios. Joe C, Big Sirs. We're missing Matt this week. He's on vacay. JJ ready to crank things out today. As we look back at the weekend, there was a lot of good stuff that happened over the weekend, and then we get ready for a short work week with the 4th of July coming up on Friday. Big, you had Friday off, so you were back ready to rock and roll, and looking forward to talking a little bit about the Jaguars. There's a couple of good stories out there right now, including the top wide receivers in the National Football League and where maybe one or two of these guys could land. But the other one is the wide receivers working out in the Bahamas. Did you like when you saw the video of BTJ, Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown getting in work under the beautiful sunshine?
It was some male bonding going on there, I was happy to see it. You know, you got to build a relationship. You know, there's got to be some camaraderie between your wide receiver and your quarterback. So it was good to see them together. You know what? I wonder why they don't have an offensive lineman retreat like that.
Yeah,
with their shirts off by the water.
I don't know, but do you remember doing anything with teammates in the offseason to put in work and like maybe put together a little mini vacay or whatever?
No, we didn't really do retreats like that, sort of say. We kind of picked cities that we were going to, hit before, training camp hit.
Right.
My spot I lived in Miami, so going to Miami was simple for me. And I trained at the University of Miami the last 5 weeks we had before training camp. So,
and then would you have other guys that would come down there and train a little bit? If
they wanted to, but here's the thing: you couldn't do it in Miami. You couldn't have a teammate of yours from another school and come train in Miami.
No,
it was outlawed.
Right.
It was frowned upon. So I never asked any of my guys if they wanted to come. So I just went to Miami and trained myself.
All right, so we'll get into it a little bit, and we talked once before about whether or not Trevor was going to be working the receivers, and there's still plenty of time for that all to go down, and we didn't know whether they were going to go to the desert or they're going to go to the Caribbean or wherever, but we'll hopefully see all of them working out together before they get to training camp. Coming up in just a bit. All right, a Mocama Beer Company Monday. We always like to salute the folks up in Fernandina. They got a beautiful tap room right there on South 8th Street, and you can enjoy delicious craft beer. They've got coffee with their beautiful little area where you can come in. The barista's ready to make you something delicious. Menu is always strong for lunch, for dinner, and then, of course, you can just hang out there or the Wildlight location or just pick up some Mocama when you're out and about shopping for some good craft beer. Local brewery right up there in Fernandina, a Mocama Beer Company Monday. So when we get into the idea of what the Jags are going to be able to do with these guys, PFF cranks out some numbers as far as some of the top wide receivers right now in the game. And it's pretty dang obvious who they're going to lean in on first and come up with the guys that start to project where the numbers are for some of these guys. But BTJ, and I think we've had fun with this, Big, just talking about whether or not he projects to be able to put out some good numbers. And heck, based on what we saw last year, he dang sure should. Once again, what were the numbers that you gave him when you were going through your scenarios?
I believe it was 80 receptions, 1,350, and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, so you went double-digit touchdowns
I went double-digit
on him.
touchdowns.
All right, so I'm just going to throw out some of these numbers as far as PFF is concerned, and they basically are taking a look at if you're going to do any futures. Hard Rock Bet's got all sorts of cool things going on right now as far as the NFL is concerned, but you're trying to find guys that you think are going to be able to get the job done, kind of lead your team in a couple of categories, especially if you're a fantasy football owner. So Ja'Marr Chase, naturally speaking, he is projected at the top. Now, keep in mind, this is a number that if you're going to do an over-under, you probably aren't going to bite on this as far as betting over-under. But if you project numbers for Ja'Marr Chase, it's 1,400 yards, 1,420, and his odds, if you were going to jump in, are around plus 550. That's not a bad bet. That's a little over 5-1 if you think he's going to get in that 1,400-yard range. That's still a little.
I would go over on that.
Okay, you
would.
would.
1,400.
He's so good.
He's a dynamic player, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he's box office.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in man coverage or zone.
Yeah.
I mean, he can beat the press and he can find the opening holes in the zone. And if he gets, if you give him a 2-yard start, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. And so that's the guy that has proven he can beat you at the line of scrimmage with the press coverage. He obviously, if you're going to roll coverage his way, he's going to find either a soft spot in a zone or he's going to do something to win those battles. He's just so crafty.
And it's interesting that it's no real malcontent between him and T. Higgins because you're talking about two alphas. You're talking about, I mean, he's the legit number one. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, T. Higgins is 1B. But I'm just saying, I mean, the fact that they could cohabitate as far as the ball goes. Now, I'm only speculating right now, but there hasn't been anything that came out that talks that these two guys can cohabitate with each other as far as getting the ball goes.
Yeah, yeah. And I would think when T. Higgins wanted that deal this last go around, he did get paid.
Yeah.
He ain't going to make the same money that Jamar Chase is going to make, but he knew his value and
Absolutely.
he did get it. And as long as they get along, I think that's what you're hoping Travis Hunter and BTJ become. Two guys that will get theirs. We know who the alpha dog is. Right now, Brian Thomas Jr. is one of the rising stars in the league at that position. And then we're going to find out what Travis Hunter
Well, listen, I had the privilege of having two alpha dogs on my team when I was here with, Keenan McCartney and Jimmy Smith.
Yeah.
Now, they were friends off the field, but trust me, in practice, they competed against one another. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They drove each other. They made sure the other person played at their very best because listen, if you got one guy over there eating, you want to eat too.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So we knew Jimmy was the speed guy.
There you go. Well, all right. Well, let me ask you all right.
And we knew Keenan was the reception guy.
Yeah.
Keenan was the 3rd and 7 get you 8, 3rd and 9 get you 10. Jimmy was the home run dance most of the time.
It's so
now it fluctuated too.
Right.
It fluctuated too.
Yeah, because look, they were both. They, in their day, great, okay? But it's funny because I was going to turn around and ask you, I'm saying, wait a minute. We still know Jimmy. And look, this is where we are, people. The two best receivers this team has ever had existed in the 90s, okay?
Exactly.
All right? In the 90s.
That's so sad.
And you can go down the line and you can point out a season of A-Rob here or Reggie when he had 10 touchdowns or Justin Blackman when he at least showcase what he could have been. We all know he never ended up being that. But anyway, it's sad as all get out that the two best tackles came in the 90s with Leon and Baselli. The two best receivers came in the 90s with Smith and McCardell. They were thunder and lightning. So I was going to ask you, in that locker room, Jimmy was still the man, but what you mentioned was really true because Keenan was able to keep the chains moving. Now, Jimmy may hit that home run play with Mark Brunell, but if it weren't for that guy constantly coming up with enough yardage to keep the ball and to keep the chains moving,
and that's what we noticed in watching the film that they complemented each other so well, as far and they knew their role and they were comfortable in their role.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, there was been times when Keenan would take it deep and give you touchdowns too, but we knew that. We had a guy that if we were on the ropes offensively and we needed to get the yardage, whether it be 5 to 10,
right?
Keenan was the guy.
Yeah,
he was the guy that was going to come across the middle. He was going to run that slant. He was going to run that skinny post, whatever he needed to do, run that curl route to make sure he got those 10 yards or that first down.
And look, you cannot discount that. You can't underappreciate or undervalue it. Because those are the guys that definitely are as big a piece. Now, you still may have a home run guy, but let's just use Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson as a couple of guys on one team. And maybe even the T and Jamar conversation. Because T isn't necessarily going to take the top off of the defense. Jamar Chase will. But both guys can make their share of plays. Jordan Addison on the climb. Why? Because Justin Jefferson's getting a lot of attention from the other guys. And he was still the home run threat, but Addison started making bigger plays as you went along. Puka, when Cooper was the man, Puka Nacua came up and started to benefit from that, right? Started just catching balls left and right, and he was a reception machine. He wasn't a down the field, make you pay speed merchant, but he was a guy who would just collect catches. That's what he does. So where do you think Brian Thomas Jr. is in terms of if you're projecting what you think the high end and in top receivers in the league. You already mentioned the numbers that you had, but where do you think it projects just as far as the top handful of receivers in the National Football League?
As far as yardage go, or just as far as yardage? They probably have them at about 1,100.
And all right, a little higher than that. And again, this is something when you're just going to try and reach for projected numbers. These are big numbers, but I'll just put it to you this way. The top 6 include the Jamars, the Justins, the A.J. Browns of the world. But guess what else? They include Brian Thomas Jr. Among the top 6. They're projecting 1,300 yards for Brian Thomas Jr. And like 1,310, and they spit out some decimal points.
I had 1,350, so
yeah, that's pretty dang good. Yeah. And you could get decent odds if you are going to lay down a bet on that and just kind of future him up and say,
they don't have touchdown projection?
No, this is just projected receiving yardage. But what's interesting is he's ahead of Puka Nacua. He's right behind Nico. Nico Collins is
Nico
right
Collins
now.
Is bad.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
And
has Puka been hurt? Maybe that has a little bit to do.
Yeah, that has something to do with it.
Gotcha.
But just the very fact that you have Jamar, Justin, Nico, and then you have Brian Thomas Jr., then Puka, who definitely nursed some injuries last year. There's no question about that. And then A.J. Brown, who also came on big after he went through his library of books on the sidelines. He came up big in the postseason. But A.J. Brown, I think the numbers that we were talking about maybe last week or the week before, his yards per catch in red zone or third down situations, they were like through the roof. And so he was very productive in an Eagles uniform.
So I'll be very interested to see this receiving core because as we talked about Jimmy taking the top off of the defense and Keenan being the possessional guy. Well, you got BTJ and you got Travis Hunter. Both of these cats can take the top off of the defense.
Both are fast.
So who's going to be the possession guy? Who's going to get the tough yardage down the middle when you got safeties and linebackers roaming?
Okay, I feel like you guys
De'Ami Brown?
Yeah, you guys think about that and you answer that question coming up as far as who you think it will be, because this is where we talk about the wear and tear of a Travis Hunter. So start thinking about that. We'll answer that question coming up. And then I got another question for you, and it's about JTA, the Jacksonville Transit Authority. They're going without drivers, and you can ride for free. I want to know if you will. We'll do that coming up. Mocama Beer Company Monday. It is XL Primetime.
Putting some paint on your quarter panel.
Trouble left turn number 2. A couple of cars spin. Kyle Busch is one of them.
Sunday at the Chicago Street Race. NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Got a leaky faucet? AC blowing hot air? No worries, Duck Rooter has your back. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, AC, and a whole lot of quacking good service.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy-efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors. At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
Hey, Hinkin here for my friends at Zero Res. They want to help you clean your home or business. Big summer savings with 3 rooms clean starting at $129 and 20% off your air duct cleaning. Call them 904-287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Great place to hang out, especially if you are in our neck of the woods. You're visiting the First Coast. You flew into Jacksonville. You're staying up there on beautiful Amelia Island. Or you're just making the drive up there from good old Duval or wherever you are. Make sure you drop on by Mocama Beer Company. They've got their Wildlight location and their beautiful tap room right there on South 8th Street, or pick up some delicious Mocama. All right, you guys jump in. We've been talking a little bit about the conversation of the Jags and what Brian Thomas Jr. can be and the fact that they're all working out to get their chemistry down as receivers. Just some Bahama. They're having some Bahama breezes. and they're catching footballs down there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Little conch fritters.
Yeah.
With the dipping sauce.
Oh, my gosh.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. And what do they call it? The pink sauce or the spicy sauce? Outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go wrong there. Conch fritters, is that your favorite?
Oh,
Simon?
yeah. Oh, yeah. The Bahamian conch fritters. Yeah. I mean, they I've been out the Bahamas where they pull out the conch fresh.
Yeah.
And they'll chop it up and grill it for you or whatever, and then they'll mix in the bat. They cook it right there, right in front of you.
And have you seen them when you bring the conch shell up to them and they pick the knuckle and they hit it and the conch just slides right
out of there.
It's amazing.
And they slide. The one time I saw it was an outside grill.
Yeah.
This guy had the conch. He did what you did, and it slid right on the grill.
Yeah.
And he's slicing and dicing, and he's preparing the conch fritters right there, fresh in front of us.
Yeah,
beautiful thing.
You cannot go wrong. One of our texters, 641-1010, hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, just talking about the numbers that are being thrown out there as far as the top wide receivers in the National Football League, who you might be betting on this year coming up. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, no surprise at all. But then Nico, maybe a little bit of a surprise that he's third. Brian Thomas Jr., fourth. And then we mentioned a couple of other guys. Texter points out, look at all the LSU cats that are at or near the top of these PFF rankings. You got Jamar, you got Justin, Brian Thomas Jr. You go down to 8th, and you've got Malik Neighbors. So they basically have former Bengals for the top 8.
LSU wide receiver U.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was hoping when last year's draft, when we picked Brian Thomas Jr., and I knew he came from LSU, I was hoping that he would continue the legacy. Yeah, and he has thus far.
Yeah, and they've got some good ones. All right, so pose your question and then answer it.
Well, my question is because we got Brian Thomas Jr., we got Travis Hunter, both of these guys take the top off the defense. Who's going to be that possessional guy? Who's going to be that guy when it's 3rd and 7, you get you 8? Now, we had a guy like that that we ultimately moved from, Evan Ingram. I mean, Evan Ingram was Trevor Lawrence's safety net. He was the guy through the middle. I don't even consider him a tight end. He's a flex.
Yeah, he's a
mismatch.
Flex.
I mean, if you put him out in the slot and you got a linebacker or a safety on him, that is a mismatch in my opinion. So Evan Ingram was Trevor Lawrence's guy, the go-to guy when he needed to get those tough yards. So who's going to be that guy? Brendan Strange, De'Ami Brown. I mean, it could be Travis Hunter or it could be BTJ. But their roles is.
Oh, yeah.
Get it and go.
I think the thing we're going to find out from Brian Thomas Jr., especially if there is a healthy Trevor Lawrence that's ready to take that next step. We mentioned the route tree a bunch in the beginning. It was just take him deep and win the battle. And I do think you're going to see him with a bigger route tree. Liam Cohen was able to get Mike Evans open all over the football field. And I can see the same thing happening with Brian Thomas Jr. I don't think you're going to see Travis Hunter streaking across the middle too often. He'll get blown up. One of our texters says De'Ami will get the tough yards. And if he does, that'll be great because you had a Christian Kirk who did some of that. And then obviously, like you mentioned, you had Evan Ingram. You have to have those guys that know where you've got to be in whatever your route is to make sure that you get a first down.
And we talked about this off the air. You got to be fearless, bro.
Yeah.
And when you got to be fearless. I talked about Keenan McCardell, getting us those tough yards through the middle, man. I mean, you're talking about you're roaming in lands where linebackers and safeties dwell.
Yeah.
And you got to take those hits.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take that punishment, but you got to get the necessary yards to keep the chain moving. That's what the game of football is. Of course, it's about scoring points, but you score points by moving the chains.
Yeah. It ain't easy. I just feel like there should be enough going offensively where you're going to have guys in the pattern. If everything goes the way we are all thinking, or if you're all a Duval hoping that Liam Cohen comes in here and engineers an offense that just kind of not wreaks havoc, but definitely gives defenses fits. That's what you need. The fact that Strange can get you some tough yards coming out of the tight end position, maybe even out when he's flexed out, that you have the 3 receivers that we're bringing up, that you have guys that can come out of the backfield and make plays for you. Man, it would be nice to have 3, 4, 5, 6 different options out there.
Well, I'm hoping is that this receiving core with the compliments of Travis Hunter and BTJ, who's already established, you got to have defenses, because when defenses go up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they got a game plan against them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They got to. So we're hoping that this duel, these two dual threats, will come up with a situation where You know, you've got a game plan. You got to stop these two guys if you win.
Yeah.
It's the same. What happens with Cincinnati is if you don't stop Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So you're hoping somewhere down the near future, maybe this season, that when you come to Jacksonville and you play us, you got to stop these two guys if you're going to win the game.
Yeah. And if those two make plays, then many others will make plays on top of them. That's
Yeah.
basically what it'll boil down to. So that's what you want. 641-1010. You guys chime in on that subject. Now we got to get to this is Duval in a nutshell. I mentioned the Big Search, and I mentioned in the handoff, the very first U.S. city. How about that? Jacksonville, Florida. The first U.S. city to integrate driverless it's called autonomous vehicles into its public transit system. So that's not just a driverless Uber picking you up, which is still freaky enough already.
Should
but
we
this
be applauding that? No, not yet.
Are you going to step onto that bus? Okay, because here's how it goes, okay? The headline reads, JTA will kick off autonomous shuttle service June 30th, offering rides for free. Are you going to get into a driverless vehicle? And I'm just guessing these are going to be, what are they going to be? Are they going to be shuttles, full-size buses?
So this is experimental is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah, for
driverless
free.
buses.
From now, today, now until September 30th, you can step onto whatever this bus is or shuttle is, free of charge. Without a driver.
Oh, really? Okay.
Will you do it?
Oh, hell no. I'm not getting on no bus.
No way?
Driverless bus? No. I'm not getting in a driverless car, let alone a bus.
So here's what they're saying, okay? They have been conceptualizing, designing, testing, engineering, and building over the past 7 years. And they will finally hit the streets for passengers to ride on everyday basis in downtown Jacksonville.
Okay, so what's the disclaimer?
I don't know yet.
Do you have to sign a waiver? Because if you got to sign a waiver, don't get on it. I'll tell you right now.
I think when your first step onto that, whatever that three
Sign
steps
this,
up, that you signed your waiver.
Oh, yeah.
So this is on Bay Street, and it started at 7 a.m. this morning, and I love the way they describe this. This is the first city in the nation where rubber-tired autonomous vehicles are in action. So let us know if you were downtown this morning, or if you are going to be you're one of those people that's working downtown on a regular basis. Are you going to get on to one of these buses they don't need onboard drivers to operate them, just a regular part of the mass transit system? Now, eventually, they say they're going to charge $1.75 per trip on the shuttles. Riding right now free through September 30th. And it doesn't go very far. This is about as far as that other hopeless shuttle downtown went. This one's going to go from the Tower District of downtown, which I don't even know where that's at, Office Tower District of downtown, in the sports complex via Bay Street.
I'm sure having free rides downtown with no driver there will definitely not attract terrible people to get on.
Oh my
That sounds like it's going to be great.
Yeah,
free rides definitely attracts the best.
That is an excellent point that you make, that anyone could step on and no one will make them step off, especially if it's free for now. They had the ribbon cutting ceremony June 27th, the end of last week. And I just want to know whether you guys are buying into this bad boy, revolutionary, first in the nation, all that type of stuff. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about the cat that may step on the.
It's slowly infiltrating AI into your normal working day life.
It's true. These things are called Navy, Big, and it is a shuttle. It's not a full-on bus, but it's called Navy, NAVI, and I'm not quite sure what the Navy stands for, but it utilizes a network of sensors and cameras for navigation.
Well, see, here's what I don't appreciate is what about that grandmama that got to catch the bus, who don't have the real option, and she get on the bus and she see ain't nobody driving. She got to get on the bus.
She's gonna freak out.
She's gonna freak out. Come on now.
Yeah. All right. So if you or grandma is into this or has read about this, are you gonna do it? We want to know, especially if you are downtown. And I guess I don't know. I'm sure there are other cities where you've been in either driverless Ubers or whatever. If you've done that too, let us know, 641-1010, because I am interested. And like Blake, one of our guys, texts in, he goes, in today's society, there will be people lining up for the lawsuit due to accident, just the way it is. I don't know. But if something does go bad, because I just don't know how they're going to be able to, they know, like they can program certain stops. That part they can do. And they can program where they're inside these lanes to where they don't change lanes. And then I guess there must be some button activation system when you want to get off that it stops at a certain time. I'm just so interested.
Are they programmed for like jaywalkers or guys who run across the street?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Probably, because the cars that are,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
like in like other cities, like Joe said, where they have Ubers and stuff like that, they have 1,000 sensors all over the car.
Yeah.
So they just like, if you get anywhere close to it, they just stop.
Yeah.
Which is better than most drivers. That's why I wouldn't
That is
have.
true.
I mean, I have a problem riding the however many homeless people are going to be on that bus.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't have an issue in general with driverless bus.
Right.
Maybe like a car on the interstate would really kind of start
That would
freaking
freak
me
me
out
out.
a little
Yeah.
bit, like the higher speed we get.
Yeah.
But if I'm just like driving down South Side to work every day, I don't think I'd mind it.
Yeah, under 20 miles
like,
per hour.
No, that's too slow. But like anything over 55, I think I get a little nervous. And if they're switching lanes, but I've had plenty of Uber drivers that are just, I mean, I'm scared.
Yeah.
With them, with a real driver, so it couldn't be that different.
Yeah, it's
Could be
downtown.
that much more dangerous, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, at least with your Uber driver, you can custom.
So give me a bad rating.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, exactly. And then, therefore, the empty seat up front doesn't care what kind of rating you give them at all.
Dude, my wife was in an Uber with her friends this weekend. She said the lady didn't have air conditioning.
Oh,
And it was in the middle of the afternoon. Like, how is that even
That can't-
allowed?
yeah, that can't be.
How is that even allowed, Uber?
And then we got in one. It was pouring down rain. Where the heck were we? Anyway, we're out and about somewhere, and we had to jump in, and then the doors, you couldn't open them back up.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's not good. And TLD
Like, that's
had a
called
little
a
bit
police car.
TLD had a little bit of a fit over that one. That was Savannah. It was Savannah, and then boom, you could not get out.
They locked you inside the car?
Yeah. And,
Wow.
And then they were talking a different language up front. It was
That's a horror movie, bro.
Yeah. So,
That came out the
it was definitely interesting.
Joe almost got human traffic.
Oh my gosh, man. You never, and she just looked at me like, I can't believe, that one. All right. So you guys let us know if you're, one dude, he says, give me the driverless vehicle. Have you seen how humans drive? Which
That's
is a
what I'm
great point.
saying.
It's an excellent point. Another one, you're being scaredy cats, like buses full of unhoused people in and out.
Unhoused people.
And
I
out
love
of control
that.
buses.
Unhoused people.
I guess we're thinking of what do you call it? What was the name of the movie? With
Speed.
Yeah, Speed. With
Keanu
Keanu.
Reeves,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. All right. So you guys let us know. 641-1010.
Yeah.
Hit the text line, design my lifetime enclosures. Mocama Beer Company Monday. If I get on one of those buses, I'm going to need one.
Some people search a lifetime and never find it.
I found it.
You found it.
I found it! Guys! I found
1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
E to the T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Mia here, and I love my custom closet from Closets by Design. With summer in full swing, having my warm weather wardrobe front and center is a game changer. No more digging for the right outfit on a hot day. If your home needs a summer refresh, whether that be a closet, a garage, or a pantry, schedule a free in-home consultation with Closets by Design. And the offer has been extended, folks. Receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And free installation on any order of $750 or more. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on them.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
This day in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This date in 1908, Cy Young becomes the oldest player recording his third career no-hitter at age 41 and 3 months as the Boston Red Sox defeat the New York Highlanders 8-0.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Joe DiMaggio as our hero in sports. Nicknamed the Yankee Clipper, you know Joe for his record 56-game hitting streak that may never be touched. But he was also a sergeant during World War II.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit Bowdeneye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Beautiful tap room. They've got the baristas ready to go early in the day. You want a good cup of coffee, maybe something to go along with it. And then, of course, the menu in the kitchen opens up with some delicious craft throughout the day. Make sure you check out Mocama Beer Company. Their great story online at Mocama.com. They got the Wildlight location as well. And then you can find them at Publix, ABC, or Total. Just check out Mocama Beer whenever you're looking forward to a delicious craft. Now, we have got to get to the Jalen Ramsey to Pittsburgh and Minka to Miami, because that is big. So we will definitely touch on that. But we've been having a little bit of fun with this. Joe C. along with Big Surse and JJ, if you guys want to jump in, 641-1010, hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosure. We've been talking about the driverless shuttles, and basically you can call them shuttles, but they have been running, according to one of our prime timers. He says they've been running for about a month now with no passengers, but they have drivers in them, and they're oversized converted vans. It's sad, is what he says, which just kind of cracks me up a little bit. Because, look, like I said, if you can make it where there's a little more mass transportation downtown with the idea that we're supposed to grow downtown, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now, is the one, what do they call the one thing that's downtown right now? I don't even know what it's called. They have a driver on that bad boy, though, right?
No,
the one that's on the rail up top?
I would think, yes.
That goes from basically Prime Osborne down through the sports complex area.
Like the monorail thing?
Yeah, it's kind of a monorail looking, dude. What is it called?
Skyway.
Okay. And I don't know whether that's...
Have you ever gone on that? Skyway.
I've been on that. That's easy.
Okay.
And one
it has 8 stations.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I've never done Skyway. Yeah. I'm out to do that.
It's not bad, especially if you are parking, you want to go downtown,
okay.
just somewhere else, which is good. Another texter, Navy is no different than the Skyway. And if that's true, that's cool. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not that's going to, be the way for me to go. One dude says, a free house that also takes me places? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Homeless Mike from downtown.
The Skyway is automated. It's driverless.
Oh, it is automated.
It
Okay,
is.
that's what I was curious about. All right. Okay. All right. See, I'm accepting of some things. I'm doubting other things. And I guess it just makes sense that they would have it. I don't know. Is anyone driving the monorail? We mentioned
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, Alejandro.
And speaking of TLD, bringing up the one Uber that we had, the one classic story, and I think I told this before on air, is that we're in New York, and this was way back, but she's like, I'm taking you to New York. We're going to have a great time, this and that. And we get on the subway, and we've been on the subway 2 or 3 days or whatever. Everything's fine. No big deal. It's not like I was this world traveler back then. But anyway, we get on the subway, and we're somewhere in Midtown, somewhere around Times Square. And she steps off and steps back on, and I stepped off but did not step back on.
Oh, no.
Okay? Because
what year was this?
She did the double move. This is 95.
So pre-cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Whoa.
She did the double move. And the next thing you know, like you just said, JJ, it kind of got my memory. Doors are closing. And I turned and looked at her and I said, I can't believe you just did that to me. And so, boom.
Next stop.
Hey, was there a cord you could have pulled?
He was outside.
You were outside.
This is Subway, bro. I'm outside. There's nothing I can do. She couldn't stop the subway.
It's not a bus.
Yeah, not a regular bus where you could pull the cord. And so I'm like,
and that was the last time you saw her.
What the hell do I do? And so I can't believe you just did this. I went up. I'm like, no, because once you go through you're going to have to pay again. And so anyway, just one of those.
So you waited for the next train, got off at the next stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it was just so dang funny.
That's stressful though.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I couldn't imagine leaving my girl.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the subways were like in 95, but the subway in New York right now, maybe during the day it's fine, but at night, man, I'd be freaking.
Yeah. There was 2 guys actually playing a board game on the subway.
Here we go.
And it was trippy because that's the thing that got me more. And I was maybe I was a little apprehensive.
Like Risk?
It was
board
weird.
game or like Monopoly?
Oh, they were trying to take over countries or something. I can't quite remember. It was something else.
Ukraine is weak.
Speaking a different language too, I think. I'm not positive. But anyway, trippy. Really, really got me. So anyway, you guys are letting us know Skyway Express, no driver. And so I guess that's probably, as long as you're cool with it. I just want to know. I'm thinking about going downtown, and especially if you've been in your cups, would you step onto a shuttle with nobody driving if you've been in your cups? I don't know. It would freak me out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, in 10 years, it's going to be the norm to get picked up in an Uber with no one driving.
Yeah. Speaking of 10 years, what is one of your guys saying, Leon?
Oh, well, no. So I was on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So this guy gets in my what's it called, algorithm or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
So he's a financial guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about the economy and all this stuff. So he was saying in this one lecture, he was saying that within like 35, he said there's going to be over 300 million humanoids.
Humanoids?
I was like, what the hell is a humanoid?
Define.
I know.
Exactly.
Well, they're going to be robots, but they're going to look just like us. They're going to be in the workplace.
300 million?
Worldwide, that's what he said.
Okay, do you know that's basically the population of the United States of America?
That's what I was tripping out. He said globally.
Right.
He said there should be over 300 million. Now, I understood, I knew robots, but the humanoids, I guess they're going to be robots, but they're going to look human.
I don't know where we're going, man.
Yeah, well, I'm just
This is scaring the crap out of me.
Well, listen, I mean, they always tell you what they're going to do in a movie before you see it.
It's true. It's true.
Isaac Asimov.
Yeah, and the next thing you know.
We're living amongst humanoids.
You're going to be able to melt down like a big source in some lab, and it'll be a robot. But I thought it was
you. Better be good looking, though.
Sports are going to be awesome when it's like us versus them.
Yeah. I'll imagine that.
Like we're going to have like the All-Star game in the NBA is going to be like, oh, we still have a few remaining humans left. So like it'll be like Luka when he's like 50 or like 40 years old Luka versus and like a couple other guys versus, the new NBA, which is basically all robots. So like how the foreigners have taken the NBA from us, like how they got Jokic and Luka and Giannis and all them. It's like the robots are going to take it from the foreigners now. Yeah. So the future of the NBA and all these sports leagues is probably humanoids.
Take that. Yeah, take that. And when it's all said and done,
we'll never tear any ACLs. It'll be perfect.
We'll be going to an NBA game where they're dunking on a 30-foot rim. Something like that, which would just blow my mind. All right, so speaking of blow your mind, this did kind of get me a little bit, and we knew that the Jalen Ramsey discussion was out there with the Miami Dolphins. He was on the block and wanted out and this and that, and really not a whole lot of movement, but here we go. Right into July when you could start moving some numbers around. You're a few weeks away from training camp. You done all your eval after the mini camps. And Jalen Ramsey is on his way to Pittsburgh. And I think even bigger than that, sirs, is Minkah Fitzpatrick's on his way out of Pittsburgh. I think still both of these guys have been stellar. But what did you think when you saw it?
Well, I mean, it's hard to assess who got the better deal of it because I mean, Jalen's obviously, he's much more athletic, longer, and all that other kind of stuff. But if you look at their numbers statistically, they're about the same. Minkah has about 20 interceptions career-wise. Jalen has 24.
Right.
And Pittsburgh, their defense is it's solidified. I mean, they had the number 8 defense in the National Football League.
Right.
And Jalen, I don't know who's more of the benefactor in this case because I don't think as far as the Steelers in their division, it doesn't move the needle because they're still the third best team in their division. Mm-hmm. You would think that they would try to. What they need to do is get T.J. Watt contract done so that man doesn't hold out. Let's start with that first and foremost. But I don't know how impactful Jalen could be for a defense that's already pretty much established. So you would hope that he would be a welcome addition. But I think their major issue may be more you got to sign Watt than bringing in Jalen down.
Okay, so
Jalen Ramsey.
Hit of that right now on that subject.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Because I pretty much agree with you 100%. You are spinning your wheels if you do all this and don't get a TJ Watt deal done. And so Schefter and others are putting out there that there's internal discussions about whether they can make a deal and basically move the veteran, TJ Watt, and get a huge return on it. And I can't make sense of that because they're basically saying that the team's offseason work, he's been skipping it. He wants a new contract, and that according to Schefter, and there's a few others that have jumped in on that, internal discussions about whether they can make a deal for him, and that if they don't, there's increased interest from those teams that are right now looking around going, hey, what's it going to take? We can take him off your hands. But if they move this, they bring in Aaron Rodgers, they bring in Jalen, they bring in Jonnu Smith, and then they deal TJ Watt.
That weakens you.
Yeah.
You're talking about a premier pass rusher, a consistent premier pass rusher, not 1 year good, another year not good. I mean, this guy's been consistent, and he's the backbone of that defense. As far as if the Steelers do that, I think that weakens them. They're already in a division where they're third best at best. And because a healthy Cincinnati with Joe Burrow,
true,
and an L Boogie,
right,
Ravens team.
Both of those guys have their quarterbacks. They don't know what Aaron Rodgers will
exactly,
be.
That part.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a fading Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback, and then you deal T.J. Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A healthy, younger Aaron Rodgers, bring it on. But we don't know.
No, we don't know. Yeah. We don't know. Absolutely don't know.
And so it's so interesting. But Jalen Ramsey, when it's all said and done, he may be a Hall of Famer. We had the discussion when he was here and when he asked out and hurt back and out of town he went.
Mm-hmm.
He's now on his fourth team. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whether he is a malcontent or complainer. He doesn't he maybe isn't as physical as he once was, because he was a physical, talented dude
Absolutely.
that could cover like a mother.
Listen, the years he went in Jacksonville, he was clearly the best player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. Not even close.
Yeah. So we'll see what the numbers look like and whether they can still get a deal for TJ Watt done. But this definitely moves the meter up there, that's for sure. All right, 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We've been definitely talking about what's going on downtown with now the driverless shuttles that are going to be out there as part of the JTA. Here's one dude that he said he got in a driverless in Scottsdale on a business trip. Pretty crazy, but efficient and safe and cheaper than Uber. And what's that app called? Is it Waymo? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they're Waymos.
Yeah. And so no big deal, huh? I guess it makes it cheaper if you don't have to pay the driver. That's not a bad idea.
Gotta listen to his crappy music.
There's another dude that is in on your bots, Leon.
They say.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of other things that are being made.
He said most of those spots will be made for something else.
Yeah.
That you can only imagine what people would want a bot for.
Exactly.
Humanoid.
Yeah. Exactly.
Another guy sent us a great video of China hosting its first fully autonomous AI robot soccer match.
Are you kidding?
Please watch. And I said it's not exactly Messi or Ronaldo, but those robots could definitely beat an MLS team.
By the way, let me just let me see if I can pull this up fast enough, because they probably do need a replacement for Ronaldo. Some of these guys, have you seen the latest contract from him, dude?
His Saudi contract? Yeah. I don't even want to know.
I'll give it to you coming up.
And he's like old now, too.
It blew my mind. So I'll give it to you coming up. It is XL Primetime, Mocama Beer Company Monday. A beautiful Monday right here on the First Coast.
You know Dan Hicken.
Man, you put on a show up there at the homecoming last week.
And you know Jeff Prosser.
I don't want to live in your weird past.
Mornings on the Drill.
Do I make you nervous?
On 1010XL.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Oh, no.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck.
904-862-6769.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $699.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Hi, I'm
Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local woman-owned solar company. Did you hear? JEA is raising rates again. With summer right around the corner, those power bills are only going to go up. But with solar, you can take control of energy costs and say goodbye to rising rates. At Clay Solar, we make switching easy and affordable. Stop paying more for power and own it. Visit claysolar.com to schedule a consultation today.
Frank Ramsey here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Pick it here with a game winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. I've scouted them all. And this Jacksonville crew's the real deal.
I'm Brendan, owner of Checkmate Coatings. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision.
Score big at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
We went to probably 4 or 5 jewelry stores.
Jacksonville's Mitch Vandal went to the town center looking for an engagement ring, but found the big box corporate jewelry experience wasn't for him.
Nobody was really helping us. One of the stores, some people walked in behind us and they were offered beer and champagne, and I'm wearing shorts and a cutoff, so I don't really look the part. So I was like, well, I guess we'll go somewhere else. I don't know if they think we can afford to shop here or what.
So he went across and discovered locally owned Beards Diamonds.
When I walked in, everybody just said, hey, welcome in. Welcome to Beards.
Mitch loved the service and attention he got at Beards and ended up with a bigger, better quality diamond.
It was about twice the size of what I thought I could afford, and it was also about twice the size of what my wife thought she wanted.
Today, Mitch tells all his friends, shop local, shop Beards.
You're going to get the best deal on the best diamond.
Unbeatable value, unmatched selection, uncompromising personal service.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beards.
Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Yo, 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 it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. The NFL has officially announced training camp dates for all 32 teams, meaning the dates for Jaguars camps are all set. Rookies will report to the Miller Electric Center on July 19th, followed by the veterans reporting on July 22nd. The first open practice will be July 24th from 8:45 to 10:30 a.m. They'll have their annual stadium practice on Sunday, August 3rd at the Bank from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Then they'll kick off their preseason here in Duval against the Pittsburgh Steelers on August 9th at 7 o'clock. The Shrimp racked up their third straight series win over the Nashville Sounds this weekend with a 15-3 win Friday, an 8-0 win Saturday, and 6-5 win Sunday to close it out. They'll have the day off today before starting their series against the Charlotte Knights tomorrow night at 7:05 at VyStar Ballpark. It's 82 degrees at 3:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
10XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Enjoying a beautiful Monday here on the First Coast, except for that old rain. I guess it's now going to be maybe an afternoon event, isn't it? It's going to heat up. You're going to see the clouds start to form, thunder boom, and then you're going to see some rainfall because it's raining over here on the south side.
Pretty bad too, bro.
Yeah, And so it's just the way. Once we get, we're going to be in July tomorrow. Once we get to this time of the year, it just heats up and it's got to let go with some rain in the afternoon. All right, welcome in 3 o'clock hour, XL Primetime, a Mocama Beer Company Monday. We've been talking about autonomous vehicles that have no drivers that are going to be running downtown free until September 30th. First day is today. We're going to have a little fun with that. Hopefully we'll get some that are downtown that have experimented. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. Let us know because we want to know. We have had plenty that have done it in other cities or wherever else, Ubers, whatever it might be. But let us know if you are going to be downtown and if you do take the ride because we just want to know what it's like.
So now, you said tomorrow's July.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Do you know that means
what? First,
we are a month away from football. Not a month away, but the next month is football.
I think
like the 31st, me and Leon will be watching Notre Dame Miami in person.
It's unreal.
It's very quickly approaching.
I think Schefter tweeted out over the weekend, and I think it included this yesterday, this Sunday. I think he said after this weekend, 10 more Sundays till the NFL kicks off. That happens.
That means it's like fast. 9 or 8 till
for
our football.
Yeah, for football. That happens fast.
Yeah.
And
really
then preseason's even before that. So the Jags will probably be on the field before that.
Well, you just heard to the max just talking about the practices for the Jags and rookies reporting, I think the 19th. It happens quickly. And I was going through, I'll see if I can pull it up, but the open practices, they're not all the same for every NFL team.
No.
And so I'll pull that up to see if I can find some. But I got to bring this up because we were talking about it just a second ago, soccer players and so on. And even one texter said, and he may have been pleading to you, Leon, he said, we need Shad to get ahead of the game and create us some O-linemen. So can you get with the humanoids?
Some humanoid linemen.
Can you get them to make some humanoid offensive linemen that can block?
I could dig that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But listen to this. If they ever want to replace the Ronaldos of the world. So this is the way it reads. Coming out of OKC winning the NBA championship, SGA has an extension that he can sign this offseason that would pay him $76 million per year on average. $76 million. We just saw James Harden pick up a deal where, what is it, 51.5?
Yeah, LeBron's is a little over 50 as well.
It's nuts. And so SGA could get 76 per year. Are you ready? Cristiano Ronaldo just signed for more than triple that.
No way.
That's what he said. That's what it says. So he gets the 2-year deal with Al Nassr, and here are the numbers.
I like that. You just went by that kind of fast.
Unbelievable.
I think it's Al Nassr. It doesn't matter what it is.
It's just nuts. This is why. All right.
$700 million record-breaking contract. By the way, he's like almost 40 years old.
Exactly. Listen to these numbers.
He's way past his prime.
$224 million per year base salary, $60 million worth of sponsorships, $52 million signing bonus, $110,000 bonus per goal, 15% ownership in the team. Bonuses and sponsorships aside, he'll make $4.7 million a week in base salary.
$110,000 per goal, $55,000 per assist. if they win the league, then he gets an additional $11 million. If he's the top scorer in the league, he gets $6 million. And they will cover all of his travel expenses and provide him with a private jet worth $4.5 million.
It's good to be the king.
Wow, that's that Saudi money, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And this is like a guy, he is 40, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been, a great player in probably 5 years.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But the name alone got him paid.
Yeah, exactly. And it brought, because all they care about is having their league look
That's the sport washing.
normal.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have, since Ronaldo got there, they've been all these clubs in Saudi sign players from European clubs. And most of them are like a little bit beyond their prime, past their prime a little bit. But some are not. Sometimes they'll get like a 25-year-old guy who is balling in the Premier League, and, some Brazilian guy just wants to go live there. It's all about, like, if you're willing to live a lifestyle of being in Saudi Arabia. And some guys just aren't into this. Some of the younger guys aren't into that.
Oh, yeah. Which I totally get.
Yeah.
And they want to be over there and try and kind of tilt the axis of the globe in their direction. And look, we just don't pay as much attention. Now, they bought their way into, what is it, the Premier, right?
Yeah, they have a Premier League club.
Yeah.
Newcastle United, and they got Live. They got, I think they have a Formula One race. They have all the WWE events and boxing and UFC there. So
how often do they come over there with UFC?
I don't know. I know that boxing was much more, but like the guy, there's this Turkey all something guy who basically runs boxing now. And not all the events are there, but like he just pays these top dollar amounts to get the fights that he wants, which I kind of love. Like Canelo is fighting Crawford next month or September.
Over there?
No, in Vegas. But it's all being paid for by this Saudi guy who put it on. So like their fingers are in everything right now. And I wouldn't be shocked if they buy an NBA team or I don't know what the rules are with foreign ownership in the NFL, but man, one day it's going to happen, dude. The money's too long for the rest of the owners to not be cool with that.
Especially with the NFL wanting more money than they already have.
Yeah, but they all do. They all
it's never enough. Never enough.
Yeah.
They want private equity to come in, which obviously could pave the way. I need to go back and watch the first Landman and like get the script that Billy Bob or Tommy recites about how much money is made with the oil business, and then just match it up with what's going on over there.
Oh,
because it's just nuts.
It dwarfs Texas, and how much they produce is these.
It's just hard to fathom.
Countries over there, and it's not just Saudi. There's a bunch of them.
No, it's crazy.
I saw I don't know where this was, but it's in a museum somewhere, and it's like a tank from the ceiling to the floor, just in a normal sized room. And it constantly is filling up completely with oil. And it's like this amount of oil is produced, like every second.
Right.
Forever under the sand in these countries. Like it's never ending almost. It's crazy.
The great Sam Kinison.
It's unexplainable how much oil is under the ground over there.
The great Sam Kinison, may he rest in peace. He had that one bit about being in the desert. It's sand. You can't grow anything from the sand. He would go nuts, and then they found oil.
Yeah, they did.
All right. Now, speaking of striking a rich and finding oil, this recruiting stuff has been hot and heavy. June into July, there's going to be a lot of big decisions made. And big, I know that obviously Mario and the folks down in Miami, they are definitely trying to crank out the big hits and get as many as they can possibly get. Florida is making some inroads. Alabama, we were just kind of not ripping on them a little bit the other day, but we definitely were bringing up the fact that they were outside of, the top 20 in the 2026 rankings. That has changed. And basically, you got guys that are coming in left and right that are committing. But just one little note that I took out of the weekend, 33 of the nation's top 100 prospects are still uncommitted. All right? Those are the jewels, okay, of the recruiting class of the year. And they're all sitting out there just kind of waiting to see if they can make whatever their pledge is going to be. Anyway, Alabama's starting to kick a little tail right now. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I mean, as far as Miami goes, I mean,
balling.
Mario has a new name. It's called Crystal Balling. Crystal.
Because on 247 Sports they always do the crystal ball of where you think where they guess a guy's going to commit to.
Bro, I watched one video of this kid going to University of Miami. I mean, everything's luxury, bro. I'm talking about from the airport ride, from the airport to the facilities. I mean, it's luxury. You're talking about Cadillac Escalade. Huh?
Who paid for that?
I don't know. We've got resources.
Maybe we have Iranian oil money, which, by the way, it's 50 barrels per second every day.
Wow. Are you kidding?
That's beautiful.
And then the great Monty in Landman, he just screams out, I just want it to be somewhere between, I can't remember the numbers, $71 and $84 a barrel. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And they're making money.
They're making money, bro.
Yeah, so Miami, they're 6th right now in 247.
Okay, so they're...
Florida State's 12th, which I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but Mike Norvell has been killing it the last couple of weeks on the actual high school recruiting trail. We've always talked about him as being able to close when it comes to transfer portal, but he's actually doing it on the high school front pretty damn good right now. And Florida's decent. They're 15th, and they've had a couple good weekends. So last couple of weekends were like heavy official visit weekends.
All right, who did you have, Leon? Who were you looking at right there? So who did you have? For Miami. Oh, I thought you were going to name
you're talking about. I'm not sure who the recruit was.
He's just saying the whole visit.
The whole visit alone. I mean, we're talking about luxury travel, transportation.
Right.
You're staying at the Fontainebleau hotels. These lavish. Believe it or not, we had the same thing.
But can you take them to Gumby's Pizza though?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Skeeter's still open in Gainesville?
Skeeter's.
Okay, because that would beat Fontainebleau any day.
Huh?
I doubt it. I doubt it would. But
when y'all bring in a recruit, it's luxury,
straight
right?
to Skeeter's.
Straight to Skeeter's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all got luxury hotels.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
You don't.
Okay, look, everyone has a different definition of luxury.
Oh,
okay.
Well, we're talking Fontainebleau on South Beach.
Exactly. From the outhouse to indoor plumbing, that's luxury. But it ain't the Fontainebleau. It doesn't stack up.
Okay.
And I've been at some of those posh hotels down there. It's a different world.
Yeah, it is.
That's for sure. So if you go to 24/7, USC moving up in the ranks, and we'll see if this all sticks. But they right now have 30 commits with 19 4-stars. Georgia has 16 4-stars of their 24 commits. Notre Dame is 3rd right now, 19 commits, 19 4-stars out of 22 commits, which is pretty dang strong. Then we mentioned Big Oil, Texas A&M. They got 17 4-stars out of their 21 commits. Ohio State is 5th. Miami is 6th. Like JJ mentioned, Clemson is 7th. Moving up, and again, Dabo has lived by the recruiting sword way more than anything else. So it's not a shock that they're up there. Michigan is 8th, and Alabama right now 9th. Now, Alabama only has 14 commits, but 2 5-stars. I don't believe anybody else has more than one. No. Ohio State has 2 5-stars as well. So,
of course,
Alabama's charging up there. You got all the money. It's insane. And so, Bama.
Everybody has money, though.
Well,
I'm not going to hate on Ohio State just because they have money. Like, they produce draft pick after draft pick after draft pick. Like, they won the national title. They are a premier program forever. I hate when people say that because, listen, every single school that's in that,
if they want,
what you just named, all those schools, they're all throwing crazy cash at these players.
If they want, they have the money. And Michigan is probably the one who stepped up more of late with money.
I mean, like JJ just said, the keynote is this: if you're getting these 4 and 5 stars, they're transitioning the 4 or 5 stars and play. Because there's a lot of schools that get these guys and they don't transition and play like accordingly, and they get in the portal and they move on. But the elite of the elite, Ohio State's, the Georgias, those type of teams, whatever, they go get the big dogs, and the big dogs get to their programs and they're groomed and they hunt.
And they go to the league.
Yes, and they go to the league.
It's nuts. All right, so this is worth another that because I think I just ripped off the tie just a little bit.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So I know you Alabama lovers out there, you get on me whenever I don't give the Tide enough respect. And I said that they had 2 5-stars along with Ohio State. Well, you come through the weekend and Alabama now has 3 5-stars that are among their class. Cornerback Jordan Edwards, Xavier Griffin, a linebacker, the big running back, Xavier Kroll. And so now they are going to be even further up these rankings when it comes to that. And honestly, we talked about whether or not Kalen DeBoer was getting the job done. At the very least, there was whispers that, hey, Alabama doesn't have the booster support the way maybe some of these other schools. Apparently, that might be changing right now.
Well, Castellano, he's not impressed.
Yeah, he's still not
by whatever's going on in Alabama.
What are 2 stars at, bro? I don't even think would I've gotten an offer.
2 stars.
Listen, would I've gotten offered?
Surprisingly, that has slipped off of this page.
I see, bro.
They have the 2. No, excuse me. They have 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, and then the average.
Well, they didn't even have 5 stars when I was in my era. They only had 4 stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was only 4. They added a star.
See, so then the very simple fact that you were a 2 when they had a 4 means you're a 3 right now.
A 3. 3 stars.
Exactly.
So I'm a 3
At the
now.
very least.
That's 2.5, 3.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
All right.
At the very
Would I
least.
get offered? I mean, the 2.5 stars get offered anymore.
They'd say, look, they extended an offer. It's a good local story to this young man.
A walk-on. What's the red shirt? They call they have certain walk-ons that are preferred walk-on.
That's all. That's all I need. That's all I need.
All right. So you guys jump in if you've been paying attention to recruiting. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Rick Ballou takes you into the night.
He's the actor in the family. And then we got the big guy.
Ryan the Hacker Green.
Yes, and what I most admire is the way you've captured the voice of the common people.
Right after Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and the 4th of July weekend is upon us. And I know what you're thinking. I can't start Awaken 180 weight loss because I want to eat on that long weekend. Well, guess what? You can eat hamburgers on Awaken 180 weight loss. You can eat chicken, steak, or pork, too. You can even eat lobster because you're eating real food and losing weight. More important, it's fast, easy, and safe. No chemicals in your body, no counting calories or points, or any other fad diet. I can't stress this enough. You eat real food every single day. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110. You can lose whatever you want. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely by eating real food every single day. Awaken 180 weight loss is the clear path to success without disappointment. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Frank Ramsey here for South State Bank. At South State, they believe strong relationships build strong businesses. That's why they take the time to understand your goals, challenges, and vision so they can provide solutions tailored to your needs, like they've done for me for years. South State has always been there for our business and our charity. With a team you can trust and a commitment to personalized service, South State Bank is here to be more than your bank. They're your partner in business. Visit southstatebank.com. South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here. Summer heat is on the rise, but don't sweat it. Big Chief Tire has your back with $50 off all AC services. Whether your system needs a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert team will keep you cool and road ready all season long. With 5 locations across Jacksonville, trusted service is always nearby. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rollin'.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with summer and fall registration now open. kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, St. John's. And I-9 has all girls flag football at Oakleaf, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration now open for summer and fall at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end.
How about that? Channel by
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. With over $450,000 in cash and prizes, fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the General Offshore Tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Hey, Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at atlanticinfinity.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
Hanging out on a beautiful Monday, Mocama. They are always there, hanging out, ready to go. They got entertainment that they're always lining up. Kitchen open for you for lunch and dinner. Great menu, along with delicious cold craft and warm coffee. You can drop on by their Wildlight location, or you can find them right there. Their original tap room was an old 50s car dealership right there on South 8th Street, and of course on the shelves at Total, ABC, or Publix. Check out Mocama Beer Company. So one of our texters says it's Malzahn, not Norvell, closing the high schoolers.
Oh, please!
I just
like he's in the room.
Yeah, I can't. I feel like any of these guys. Look, they want to go play for an offense, and Malzahn's offense. They can describe it, and he certainly could have some impact, but it's the head coach that's going to close most of these deals. And Norvell did a pretty dang good job, as we well know, in the transfer portal. Now it's trying to figure out what he can do to match up prized recruits and prized transfer portal pieces, which is what he's been trying to do. And look, the successful schools out there, that's the hybrid. You go get a handful of portal guys that you know come in and enhance your roster immediately, and then you build with those other guys. You develop.
Yeah, I mean, the Texas has, relatively speaking, you when you're on recruiting trips, you spend most of your time with the assistant coaches, not the head coaches. But because you meet the head coach initially at the dinner and all that kind of stuff. But when you're on the trip, when you're moving about the city, I mean, it's the assistant coaches that are there talking. The guy who recruited you and the guy you're going to be playing for. You know, so I mean, I understand you got to give credit where credit is due because it is the head coach. He is the staple. But to be honest with you, when these guys, when they go on these recruiting visits, they spend more time with the assistant coaches than they do the head coach. So, I mean, I don't know if he's the closer, but I'm saying, but in some factors, a lot of these kids spend a lot more time with the assistant.
And look, I can go back and I can picture Gus Malzahn as the Auburn head coach. I don't know how many he closed. And then I can picture him down in Orlando, and I liked a handful of guys that he got down there 100%, including R.J. Harvey, who almost became a Jaguar, a really, really good player, and a handful of other ones too. But I'm just trying to picture the big deals that he made. Now, he was going up against Nick in the state of Alabama. We all know how tough that is. Well, guess what? It's the same kind of scene down here because now you got 3 schools that all feel invigorated, all feel like they've got a chance to get back to where they would like to be. FSU was the closest of recent note because they won a conference championship. They ran the table, and then we all know what happened about them not getting in the playoff with the injury to Jordan Travis. But they got to do every single day something special to make sure these recruits are going to come to that.
Yeah, but because you got to hold the attention of your winning holds the attention of your recruit class. Let's just put that. And both of these teams, all 3 of the schools, have had marginal success as far as they're trying to raise back the prominence. I don't want to take a shot. Miami did beat both of them, so we got a little edge on them as far as the state title goes.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we had it, so we enjoyed it for 1 year. But you got to keep the attention of these kids, and it comes through winning and recruiting, facilities, and all that other kind of stuff. So I like it because these 3 schools play each other now. They play each other again. So it's going to be important when the season rolls around that you win ball games.
Yeah, and you're not keeping them all at home. No, you can keep some important ones, and you can recruit off of that. And it used to be big, and you know that it was whoever was dominant was going to win some of those recruiting battles.
Well, here's the thing now. So now all the money's equal, sort of say.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got top-notch kids, there's no real reason to go to Ohio State or go to the Alabamas or the Georgias of the world if Miami, Florida State, and Florida. But you got to win games now. Don't get me wrong. You got to win games on a consistent basis because a lot of these kids don't want to go to programs, even though it is in the state, you losing ball games.
Right.
So if we can get back to the Florida States, the Miamis, the Floridas winning 9, 10, 11 games a season, then you're going to keep a lot of these kids here because all the money's equal.
I think Matt, who's on vacation this week, but he ran down a number of the top players from the state of Florida that are committed to the Alabamas, Ohio States, Texases, A&Ms, all of them. And, yeah, it's going to be tough as hell to keep all of them here, but you still have to lock down that best player at that position in your state as often as you possibly can.
Yeah.
You cannot let them go.
There's no way – I'm just throwing that – there's no way a 5-star offensive lineman from Orlando should be going anywhere but Florida. Or a 5-star defensive tackle who lives in the Poke and Bean.
Right.
I don't even know y'all know what that is. That's Overtown.
Is that somewhere in the 305?
Yeah, it's a 305. Should be going anywhere but Miami. Same thing for Tallahassee. Yeah. So when those 5-star cats, those elite cats, when all the money's equal and most of their family live where they play ball at, there's no reason for them to go anywhere other than the 3 schools.
No, it's just it's so important to be able to at least you can't throw the classic line was throw a fence around Miami and don't let them out. And there was a time when you could, but there have been too many of them that have left. The Lamar Jacksons, the Amari Coopers, you go down the line.
Well, there's a new kid from a 5-star wide receiver from Miami Northwestern that he's announcing this weekend. And he just announced Miami's not one of the top 3. It just listen, I think a lot of it is obviously that the schools are. I think LSU and Michigan are up there, but or Oregon.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is more than just these teams, and when I say these teams, I mean Miami, Florida, and Florida State, not being in the national title games anymore, not being in the playoffs. I think it's more to it than that. I think we live in a different world than, with the internet and social media, and you're watching every Alabama game is on TV, every LSU game is. it's a lot easier for these kids to be like, yeah, I could see myself playing at LSU or Ohio State, even, just
It's
a kid
much,
growing up in Miami. It's a different world.
Much smaller world.
Exactly.
Well, not only that, JJ, I agree with you totally when you say it, but not only that, but if the kid is from Miami and, it may just be tired of Miami. His parents might say, hey, listen, go out there and see the world.
Yeah, it's usually not a great thing to stay home when
you know what I'm saying?
age.
Go out because, or you want him out of there because if he stays here, he might run into
hangers on.
There might be some influences that may not be, right for him to stay where he's at.
There's so many things you could add that you could point to.
And
also playing for titles is one of them.
Yeah.
It is one
Absolutely.
of them. There's no denying why Ohio State is where they are, how Michigan has gotten there because of winning a title, how Clemson drifted a little bit because they haven't in
Georgia. Georgia just rees up like every year in recruiting.
Do you think these kids care more about titles or money?
Nowadays, money is first.
But since it's all kind of equal, like you were saying, then it's about winning.
I guess it goes back and forth.
Because you could get money. If you're a 4-star, 5-star recruit, you're going to get paid wherever.
True.
Yeah.
And then you pick a coach. And then the other part of it is with this small world that we're in, recruits talk to recruits and say, hey, let's go there together.
And I know they look at the position, too, and they're like, hey, I could probably play right away if I go to Clemson or
all
whatever.
So how would you rank it? If we got NFL, money, or titles, how would you rank it? Titles will be last.
I think
it's probably different for every kid.
But I think they assume the other two. I believe they assume in other words, we just said money is even though it's important to them and they're going to get it if they're good.
Yeah.
And the big schools are they're basically all step for step. So then it comes down to that title.
Well, I know the narrative has changed because I know when I came in Miami in '87, when I was freshman and I won a national championship, I couldn't even enjoy it because the upperclassmen was like, y'all didn't win that title.
It's not yours.
It's not yours. Go get your own.
Right.
So
there is that culture at Ohio State. It seems like I heard that Jeremiah Smith and a lot of the guys on the last year's team have asked them to take down some of the stuff about how they won the Natty last year around the facility because hey, we need to start over. We didn't win anything yet. Which, if that's true, I mean, watch out.
That's that's called the culture right there.
Exactly.
That's a culture because I won the national championship. I got my jacket on. I come to Orlando. I got my ring and everything. I'm flossing a little bit. I come back. The veteran is like, hey, man, why are you still wearing that jacket? That was last year.
Yeah.
You ain't won nothing. You piggybacked off of us.
Right.
Go win your own title.
Yeah. I love that. And Nick was the master at this.
Yes.
Nick was king at start resetting your clock and saying whatever that was is not now. Speaking of whatever was is not now, Auburn fan here, he chimes in on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I can assure you that Gus's key card doesn't even work on the doors of the recruiting office.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Shot.
That's beautiful. All right, we'll keep it rolling. Mocama Beer Company Monday. Handing it off to the Francis Show coming up at 4.
Summertime in your favorite city.
Summer day.
1010XL.
Summer day.
Your summer station.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Attention North Florida, it's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. And it's not just poker. With delicious food, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. And ante up for fun.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. This day in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This date in 1908, Cy Young becomes the oldest player recording his third career no-hitter at age 41 and 3 months, as the Boston Red Sox defeat the New York Highlanders 8-0.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coating. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is often when I talk to high school kids or college kids, I ask them, what kind of legacy do they want to leave, once they go to college, and how do you want to be remembered? At the University, I remember for winning titles. I have no problem with athletes making money, but if the premise of winning titles is not the purpose, then why are you going? Because the guy who recruited me, Don Solinger, he passed out. He slid me a letter of my letter of intent. I was supposed to sign it, and he pulled it back. And he said to me, Leon, if you're not good, you won't play. He said, if you're not great, don't come. That was that was what it meant to be a Miami Hurricane at that particular time. Don't come there unless you want to be a champion. I'm not saying money has miscued that a little bit as far as these players go, but if all things equal and you're getting paid, no one's going to remember how much money you made when you leave, but they'll remember how many titles you brought to the school.
And I feel like I know that we just got through saying which of these things matter most. And is it the coach? Is it the money? Is it the playing time? Is it the NFL? And they all add up depending on, like you just said, what type of work you're willing to put in, what you believe you need to do to just keep ascending, find the right coach, find the right whatever's in you that keeps driving you, and go the best place where you can thrive and have all these things come true. One guy on the text line said development, because they, like you wanted to be developed.
Yeah.
You went from a 2-star to a first-round draft pick.
Great coaching.
Yeah.
And then I was motivated, and I was coachable. That was the key. I was motivated and I was coachable.
Yeah.
So.
I firmly believe that. And I'll just add to your takeaway that just when any of these classes are coming together, or any of these coaches, and right now it's a whole new world. The money that is out there is insane. You've got to embrace it because it's not going away. And there are a lot of things that we don't like about it, but at the same time, most of the universities that are out there, they got a good alumni base that are willing to pitch in left and right. And now you have money inside the building paying players, because that's the new agreement with the house settlement. And then outside of it is all the other ones that are still saying, you know what? I'm gonna line the pockets of these kids. I want to see them in my school's uniform, and that's going to go a long way. Now, is the Texas big oil guy going to be able to outspend the, Midwestern insurance man that's funneling money to Ohio State? I have no idea, or how long any of those big booster groups are going to be able to maintain the money. But the money's out there.
Yeah,
we're talking. I'm trying to remember.
I guess what I'm kind of
maybe not Al Nasser money.
Yeah,
but money nonetheless.
Certainly not Saudi cash.
Yeah,
no, not that. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that the money's out there. Don't be motivated by the money.
Right. And we had a texter be like, "Hey, the settlement money's all going to be equal, but not in NIL." That's not what we mean when we say it's all. We don't literally mean that they're going to make equal money at all this. We're saying if you are a high-level recruit, you're going to make probably close to the same amount of money in NIL at most of these massive schools.
Right. Like, some examples have been given to us, and it is a little surprising to find out that one school undervalued, in the player's mind, undervalued what they think they're worth, and then another school overvalued or was willing to pay more, and we're talking big gaps. Now, it doesn't mean let's just use a hypothetical here. A star wide receiver gets offered by two schools, and one offers him $800,000 and the other offers him $1.5 million. Both schools are very good. Both schools have a chance to make it to college football playoff. Which way is he going to go? He thinks he was undervalued with that $800,000. He thinks he's going to go get that $1.5 million. Now, both schools have a lot of money available. But one school they just miscalculated the offer.
Or maybe they don't think he's worth that much.
Exactly. And they made that decision. They calculated it. They made the offer. And when it was all said and done, he's like, thanks, but no thanks. And he goes in the other direction.
And the player has to look at it like, okay, maybe I'm taking less, but I have a better opportunity here, better coaching staff, better facilities, better program. Like
it all adds up.
There's so much that goes into it. But yeah, we didn't mean literally they will make exactly the same everywhere else.
Yeah, not dollar for dollar. All right, now speaking of these outstanding freshmen, like Jeremiah Smith was an outstanding freshman last year. Let's make this the 10-10 take, JJ. I need to take you back in time if you don't mind.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
And backpedaling, Lawrence flips it open. Wide open. Justin Ross off and running. The Alabama native wins the foot race. And Clemson strengthens its grip on this championship game.
Oh, what a great call. I love Fowler, one of my favorites. But when he strengthened its grip on a national championship, really a great call. And it was Trevor Lawrence and Justin Ross, too, on the other end. But that was Trevor as a freshman, okay? And so when he came in, he easily was tabbed as the generational one, was he not? Just as soon as he stepped onto a college football field, they were on their way to winning a national championship. So we're making the 10-10 take a look back in time with Trevor. They put together, CBS Sports did, the top 25 true freshman performances of the last 25 years. And do you know Jacksonville has 3 of the top 25? 3. I would never have imagined that, but just going down the line as they rank them from 25 to 1, best performers as freshmen, Miles Jack was one of them. He was listed 24th, started 13 games as a true freshman for a 10-3 team, 12 at linebacker, the other at running back. So Miles Jack was considered one of the great true freshman performers of the last 25 years. Another Jacksonville tie, another Jaguar tie, one Cam Robinson. One Cam Robinson in the SEC. When you go back to his freshman year, he was part of an SEC team that made it to the college football playoff and emerged as a day one starter, gave up just 2 sacks all season while putting together a PFF grade of 73.8. Alabama won the SEC, earned the number 1 seed in that initial playoff. And then, of course, the last of the 3, Trevor Lawrence. So Jacksonville has 3 of the top 25 best ever performing freshmen in the 21st century. And they want to see Trevor perform like that. Cam Robinson performed like that maybe one year. Miles Jack wasn't down, so he always has his place in history here. But isn't that something?
That's special. I mean, it's hard enough to be a freshman than to go out and do work as a freshman.
Yeah. Here are a few others, just for the heck of it, real quick. We might touch on this again a little bit tomorrow. But LaRon Landry, another great player that was just absolutely jacked. No one was giving him any blood or urine test because he was jacked up. Miles Jack was 24th. Nick Chubb was 23rd. Remember how big and good he was when he came in to the college football world as a freshman up in Athens. Eric Berry, safety out of Tennessee. There were a handful of other ones that definitely will jump out at you. Sammy Howell, quarterback for North Carolina when he first came out, threw for 3,600 yards, led the ACC with 38 touchdowns. Pretty dang good. A couple of other ones. Maurice Claret. Remember how good he was. Yeah, he wanted to challenge the NFL and be one and done. That's how good he was. 1,237 yards on that national title team, 16 touchdowns, averaged 5.6 yards per carry. That's sturdy.
That is special, yeah.
A couple of others, Samaje Perine.
Still a national title.
They somehow or another won it. Yeah. Derek Barnett, defensive lineman from Tennessee, another very good one. Drafted high, was able to keep his level of play up, his entire playing career up in Tennessee. A few other ones that jump out. Phillip Rivers. That dude started from day one in Raleigh and set all sorts of records. And he had, let's see here. I have to take a look at the total number of wins that he had. 25 touchdowns against 10 picks his freshman year, and set all sorts of records up there. He was one of the great players the ACC's ever seen. Speaking of one of the greatest.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Hayes Carline joins us now, the Embedded and Shredded, back from vacay.
Good to see you guys.
Ready to rock.
Good to be seeing you.
Where'd you go, man?
Just stayed here.
Yeah.
Just took it easy.
You had the
Enjoyed
staycation.
the creature comforts of home.
Okay.
Beach and pool and,
None of that
just
is
chilling out, recharging the battery. It was
you ready to go?
glorious. Oh, I'm so fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obviously a wild sports weekend, so we've just got more stuff than we know what to talk about. So it's gonna be a lot of fun coming up on the Frangie Show. No Frank today; he's on vacation this week, so he'll be back with us a week from today. So it'll be me and Hacker and JJ, and we've got lots to get to. The Jaguars in the Bahamas, so we'll talk about that. How about Pot Guider?
Listen, I did the International Highlight Show, and I went Aldrich Potgieter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Pot Geeter?
Potgieter.
Okay.
But I like to say Potgieter.
Yeah, I like it. That's good. Yeah, it's almost like doing kind of a handoff with James Bond right now in terms of the ability to
20 years of
adapt.
age from South Africa.
Yeah, from South Africa. But so it was, I doubt anybody watched. I don't know that JJ and Hacker watched the Rocket Mortgage, but I got drawn into it.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, he's 20, but he's a fat guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of reminds me of Tim Herron, lumpy. If Tim Herron had a kid in South Africa, this might be what he would look like. So we're going to talk about our favorite fat athletes of all time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Inspired by Mr. Potgieter. So, lots of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show. We also, I did this, it'll publish tomorrow morning, but I did the most indispensable Jaguars this season.
Okay.
Like the 10 that they cannot lose to injury.
Okay.
So we ranked those, and so we'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour. So lots of fun stuff coming up.
Awesome. That sounds good. Hey,
Thank you, guys.
man. All right, he's back from vacay. Hack's in there with him. What do you got?
Your top freshman. Now, this is in my era.
Uh-huh.
What about Herschel Walker?
Oh, my gosh.
Bro, 1,616 yards, 15 touchdowns.
All right, so I want you to save the rest of them, and we're going to get a few of those in your era coming up tomorrow.
Man.
Oh, he was a bad man. But I couldn't help but think of JJ when I told JJ, I said, this Aldrich Potgieter is going to win soon. And he did yesterday. He had a drive in the playoff, 370 yards. And that's in Detroit, not in the mountains or anything like that. 370 yards. Unreal. So, yeah, he was a potbelly athlete. All right, so think about that. Best freshman, and Big Search will have a little homework assignment tonight to keep it going tomorrow. We're going to say hello to 2 coaches tomorrow, so we are looking forward to that. We are done. The Frangie Show coming up next. Thanks to Mocama Beer Company with our Monday. Joe C., Big Search, and JJ.